What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to discuss my thoughts on the Green Bay Packers situation. In the Green Bay Packers situation, I mean, basically, I'm going to talk to you guys about how I feel about how they're handling Aaron Rodgers. They drafted Jordan Love in the first round, did not draft a wide receiver at all in the draft, in a wide receiver heavy draft. And it's caused a bit of an uproar throughout the media. All I'm hearing all week is how disrespectful the organization is to Aaron Rodgers. And Tony Kornheiser, PTI, said he should walk in there and demand a trade. To which I say, I think everybody is tripping. All right? Let me know if you've heard this before. Relax. You know who said that? Aaron Rodgers said that when people thought his team was in turmoil. And he went on to have a pretty good season that year. Aaron Rodgers isn't going anywhere, people. He has a $51 million cap hit this year. I'm not a rich man, not even close. All right. I'd go on to venture and say I've been poor most of my life. I know that if I were ever rich, I don't care how much money I make, I'm not going to pay somebody $51 million to play for somebody else's team. Okay, if I pay somebody $51 million, he's playing for my team. He might even cook the hot dogs for my team. He might even have to, gather meetings with the staff at the stadium if I pay somebody $51 million. So with that being said, he's not going anywhere. I think everybody is tripping a little bit because they obviously didn't get him any kind of help, right? I venture to disagree with that. I just think nobody is up on game with the Green Bay situation. They have a Pro Bowl wide receiver in Devontae Adams. I think last year they found another guy. I'm not saying he's a Pro Bowler, but I think they found something in Allen Lazard. He's 6'5", 220 pounds. He had almost 500 yards. I think he only started 3 games. Pretty good receiver. They also have a guy named Marquez Valdez-Scantling. All right, he didn't have the greatest year, but he's also 6'4" and can fly. They also have another guy that they had high expectations for. His name is Equanimous St. Brown. I can't even believe I got that name right on the first try. But he is another 6'5" receiver that has some talent. So I don't think they think the cupboard's bare. If anybody should feel disrespected, I think it's Aaron Jones. His contract's coming up, and they went ahead and drafted A.J. Dillon, another running back. They already have Jamal Williams in the backfield. So, if anything, I'm wondering what that means for Aaron Jones. But Aaron Rodgers, his cap hit's $51 million this year. His cap hit is $31 million next year. All right, maybe after 2 years of lapse, he has a smaller cap hit of $17 million. That's a lot, but it's at least feasible that they could trade him, get some value, and start Jordan Love. That could happen. So I don't think he was disrespected. The main reason is they don't think the cupboard's bare. And does anybody remember the last time Aaron Rodgers threw to a first-round talent? I'll wait. Nobody remembers. You want to know why nobody remembers? It's because he's never thrown to a first-round wide receiver. All right? He's thrown 1 touchdown to 1 first-rounder his whole career. Wasn't even a wide receiver. Can anybody name that person for me? I'll wait. A lot of you guys don't know. You want to know why you don't know? It's because that touchdown went to Mercedes Lewis, who came from the Jacksonville Jaguars after we released him a couple seasons ago. It's the only first round that's ever caught a touchdown pass from him. He's made a career of playing well with the receivers he's been given. The Green Bay Packers is an organization that likes to draft receivers, be it late or even middle rounds, and they like to grow their potential. So with that being said, nobody complained when he had Greg Jennings, correct? Wasn't a first round wide receiver. How about Jordy Nelson? Wasn't a first round wide receiver. How about Randall Cobb? How about Donald Driver? Donald Driver almost went undrafted. How about James Jones? These were all a litany of wide receivers that came one after the other, and at some point or another, they actually played all together. And they did just fine. In fact, they won a Super Bowl. The wide receiving core is not the issue for the Green Bay Packers. The issue for the Green Bay Packers, if anything, has always been, for a while now, on the defensive side, they can't never seem to get it together. Last year, they signed Ladarius Smith and Preston Smith. Those were two pretty good signings. But can anybody tell me what happened to them in the NFC Championship game? Oh, that's right. Receiver wasn't the problem. The problem was they lost to the 49ers, and with Jimmy Garoppolo throwing a whopping 8 passes, completed 6 passes. He went 24 minutes within the game without having thrown a pass. The 49ers came out of halftime. Jimmy Garoppolo did not touch not that he didn't touch the ball, didn't throw a pass until the fourth quarter. Do you want to know why that happened? That happened because the Green Bay defense allowed 285 yards rushing. They couldn't stop a nosebleed that day. So what I gather from the draft is they drafted some linemen late. They drafted a running back. They drafted a tight end. I think they want to ground and pound it a little bit. And I think they're comfortable with the receiving core that they have. Historically, Green Bay has been a team that is drafted in the trenches. They've never really given Aaron Rodgers a first round wide receiver. They usually find steals, groom them, and when they're ready to go, they hit the ground running like Jordy Nelson. Who knew he was going to be as good as he was? He was sitting behind Greg Jennings and Donald Driver and James Jones for years before he got and hit his peak. So with that being said, I think they're going to be fine. If anything, this is motivation for Aaron Rodgers. And if anybody can say, watch this, and because they feel kind of slighted, it would be Aaron Rodgers. So I think it's going to be an enjoyable season to watch. If anything, I don't think they did enough to shore up the run defense. But their secondary, pretty good. Jaire Alexander, Kevin King, Josh Jackson, Darnell Savage at safety, Adrian Amos at the other safety. They're pretty good in the secondary and pass rush. They did draft Christian Kirksey. They let go of Blake Martinez because the complaint with him was he wasn't making tackles in the backfield or for a loss. He was part of the middle linebacking core that allowed almost 300 yards to the 49ers. I don't know if Christian Kirksey's the answer, but we'll see. They did draft a large middle linebacker named Kamal Martinez, and they have Oren Brooks at the other middle linebacker spot. So they're going to tinker around with that a little bit. And if they get that run defense taken care of and that pass rush and secondary keeps growing, I venture to say Green Bay could be a favorite to go to the Super Bowl. So how disrespectful were they really? I think it's disrespectful to ignore the weaknesses on the team just to flatter your quarterback. So we'll see what happens. I think Green Bay is going to be one of my favorites to actually go to the Super Bowl this year. It's going to be an exciting year. If you guys have any questions, comments, anything else you guys want to touch on, hit me up. I'm going to be dropping one of these videos every week. Keep the questions coming, all right? Take it easy.